But that's a thing. Did you know that?
I didn't know. I didn't know it was a thing.
The all 5 models, Elon Musk made I guess there's 5 Tesla models, or I'm not spelling right. 4. Jesus. And there's the Model S, the Model E, the Model X, and the Model Y.
Oh. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let me grab the Facebook link. Or no, go to the Facebook page and share the Facebook link. And then there's a Facebook page for Starfleet Boy. Hello, we have two viewers already. Hello, welcome.
Hi.
How did you feel about the launch today? We're here to talk about SpaceX, Star Trek, space travel in general. And so we're taking your questions and your comments and your thoughts on that and anything related to anything you want.
That's a typo. It's supposed to say, "How did you feel about your lunch today?" We want to hear you. We want to hear you sound off on ham on rye and tuna salad.
So PJ watched it live.
Oh, awesome!
As it was happening, and then I saw it. Record after because I was recording my final TNG discussion today during the launch. So
congrats!
It's actually going live soon, and we talk about the launch during the. We didn't air it, but we talked about it during the discussion, which was kind of a cool thing. And you haven't seen it yet, right, Evan?
No, I tuned in for the one that got postponed, and that was very exciting. And then was kind of a bummer to. But I'm glad they didn't launch. It was the right call. Yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'll trust them. I'm not a space weatherman. But I saw that, and I saw the footage of them hanging out in the little tube. And it was exciting. But I didn't get to watch this one. I got overly consumed with everything else going on in the world that I just couldn't handle the idea of. I love sci-fi so much, and like the potential of like, oh my god, this is happening. We're private companies are launching into space, and this is like a huge step to actual Star Trek world. Like we're getting there, and my brain couldn't handle that with everything else too. So I knew like my eyes would fly out of my head.
For the sake of posterity, for folks watching in the distant future, today was a crazy day in general, in a portion of on this country, on this part of the planet, in more ways than it's already crazy for the world with the pandemic going on, and in America right now, if you don't know, we're experiencing an extraordinary time, historic time in terms of race in this country, and like injustice and police brutality. And then also we launched a crew for the first time in like over a decade from American soil. So yeah, it was a crazy day.
Yeah, a lot going on.
That was so crazy that we lost our 2 viewers. They said no.
Yeah. I'm chasing viewers away. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We have to talk about the real stuff that's happening. I'm happy to talk about it.
I'm responsible for purging so many of your listeners and
I was a little more vulgar about it on our last podcast, but this is not done for the. I was a little bit more vulgar about it in our last podcast, but this is not something I do for the views. No, it's fun to have you on. Don't worry about it. But what I would like to know, I think I can stream it while we talk about it, and then PJ can tell us what he thought about the launch while he was watching it, and then we can talk about my launch story, which is not really a launch story, but I haven't shared it yet.
I'm gonna switch headphones. I keep trying to use these headphones, and they keep. I can't hear. All right, hold on. I have to unplug.
Okay, go for it. I'm gonna mute you.
an echo. I'm so sorry.
No, I can fix it. I just muted you. All right. Let me look up the launch. Where would it be on the SpaceX website, I would imagine? All right, wait. Are you back?
I'm back.
Yay!
Sorry. I put on my little kid headphones.
I like those better. They remind me of PewDiePie's headphones.
We've talked about that.
No, but now I know what his headphones look like now.
Oh yeah. Doesn't he have like cat ear ones?
I think he did for a little while. Do you think PewDiePie watched the SpaceX launch live?
Oh fuck PewDiePie. He's a piece of shit.
Exactly. Thank you. This is
no.
Fuck him right up his ass.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness.
Because we talked about it. I think you were really wasted, and we told you, me and Kevin were talking about what he did, but I think we were all really wasted, so we forgot like that. But he's
you know what? Yeah, he's not good. Speaking of people who aren't good, your administration in America are more pro space than any administration since Kennedy. I think Trump is planning on giving like $25 billion more this year and next year to space programs. I don't know I don't claim to understand U.S. politics, but like
me neither.
As of late, they're really like gung ho about space.
Yeah. Well, my theory is like I said, like
I actually don't. I don't disagree with this. I like this. I think I know where you're going.
Yeah,
Space Force on Netflix. I never watched it yet, but they made a show about it.
Yeah, I haven't watched that either. But I think the actual Space Force and the reason Elon Musk is putting like SpaceX, and I think it's just like an intergalactic Uber for rich people. They're gonna ruin what they can of their countries and the world, and then when it's unbearable, they're gonna be like, bye, poor people, and shoot off into their moon hotels.
Well, it seems the objective now is to commercialize space travel, like low orbit kind of stuff where like people go up who have a lot of money who can afford it, and they float around and have a little space adventure for a little a day or two or something like that. And they also want to go to the moon again. They want to put the first woman on the moon. They also want to eventually go to Mars, and that's like more of a possibility now than it's ever been. So, yeah,
that'd be exciting.
I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a lot of information that I was kind of looking into, but if I remember in the recording I watched of the broadcast, they mentioned that part of when they decommissioned the STS program, the space shuttle program, it was because it was too expensive to maintain based on the budget that was allocated for NASA from from our taxes and stuff like that. So the plan was always to go and put it out. That's how I think in these companies, there's so myriad of them. I remember being born around that time, but a bunch of private space companies were born out of that decision because the plan was in some odd years that they would privatize sending up payloads like satellites and things like that, so as not to overspend on things that are just more I guess research oriented projects, and that they would focus on exactly what you said. Well, at the time they said Mars, but the moon has definitely been added to that, which I'm okay with. I know we need another practice hop on another rock before we go to Mars. But I like it for the same reason that I think Evan was saying earlier, that it does bring us closer to that Star Trek idea of space travel where yes, let's hope it's not an escape plan for billionaires because I think they would be very sad to live in a world of just billionaires. But I do think that it is a milestone in the sense that it feels like there's hope that maybe not for us, but in our lifetimes we'll be able to travel to a colony on the moon or something like that, or at least do a space hop.
there are two things that come to mind when you're talking about the possibility of commercial space travel. like what we talked about earlier, like, low orbit kind of stuff. Now it's like an escape for billionaires. There's a show called Avenue 5
Oh yeah,
on HBO,
Really
which
good.
I've only seen a couple episodes. I didn't watch the whole season, but I want to get back into it. And I recently watched the 2 Airplane movies, Airplane 1 and 2, and the second one is about commercial space travel. It's stupid as fuck.
I forgot William Shatner's in that one. It's so good.
Oh yeah, he's so bad.
So good. No, he's so good.
No, he's really that movie is
so good.
Terrible. It's just it's
Striker.
Striker. Yeah. That whole bit
so
where
good. I love
that whole bit where he's given he keeps giving the orders after everything's like done and over with.
We got a heart and a thumbs up. But yeah, you're right. He was great in it. He was so great. PJ. No. William Shatner was so amazing.
Well, William Shatner, we hear you loud and clear. You thought that he was awesome in that movie.
William Shatner is good in very few things. Mainly the 2 episodes of Twilight Zone that he was in.
He's so great. What are you talking about?
Well, he was really good in those 2 episodes of Twilight Zone. The one where he's in the restaurant and he keeps getting his fortune told, and he becomes more and more paranoid. And then the other one with the gremlins on the plane, yeah.
What about? He was pretty good. He wasn't good in Star Trek ever. He was
good. He was good in Star Trek too. Yeah, he was pretty good in there.
That's the only time.
And 6, yeah.
You're saying 2.
2 and 6, yeah, he was good.
Oh, I thought you meant like he was good in Star Trek also. You're not.
Yeah, he was okay. Yeah, he was fine.
What about T.J. Hooker? You didn't like him in T.J. Hooker?
T.J. Hooker, he should have won an Emmy every season he was on that show. I'm so glad that they replaced the actress with Heather Locklear in the 2nd season. That was a real benefit, I find.
PJ, like,
or yes,
I keep calling. I'm sorry. What do you prefer? Do you prefer your? Is it Boa Trek? What do you prefer?
Wait, I forgot to do this. Hold on. This helps everyone.
It's a play on words. It's supposed to be boat wreck, like a boat wreck.
Look, do you guys like this better?
Like a boat crashed into a rock.
Love it. Would you? Do you prefer to go by your handle?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. You can call me Jim.
Jim. How about
Damn Jim? She's dead, Jim.
I like your provocative Kirk Shatner views are intriguing to me. I like.
Remember that movie? Remember that movie he was in with the spiders, and he was also in.
Can I also say that he was in the movie Incubus, which was the first film
with Ernest Borgnine? It's about the devil worshippers.
Yeah, and it's the first.
The guy's like he's a half goat. Ernest Borgnine is a half goat.
It's the first movie. It's the first movie made in Esperanto, which was meant to be the universal language.
Oh, wow.
What's it called again? Do you know the name?
The movie's called Incubus, and the language is called Esperanto. There was a time where it was hoped that everyone on the planet would speak Esperanto as one common language.
That's an old movie, old black
but they decide to debut it in this demonic film in which and so it gets the worst. It gets the worst rap ever. Like people just associate this language with like Satan and the devil, and so it never became.
That's right.
So it never became the international language.
The mechanical spiders you're talking about, right? What is that called? Like cyber something, tech something?
There was a movie he did. It's black and white with like giant spider. I think it was like
and
he's like in a cowboy hat. I forget what that's called.
Why can't I get a straight up filmography? Why is it so difficult?
How do we get from the space launch? I'm gonna find the space launch. I'm gonna find it.
I like this path that we're going down.
All right, I'm gonna find the space launch.
I like that you brought up Twilight Zone. I've been demolishing Twilight Zone lately.
The new one sucks. Yeah,
I haven't watched the new one.
I haven't watched
I've just been watching season 3 of the original Twilight
I am
Zone.
Enjoying Amazing Stories on Apple TV Plus, which no one has, but it's really good.
I'm so excited because I got my new iPhone, I just activated today Apple TV, so now I can watch all that stuff.
Oh, right on.
I'm so excited. What is it called? Amazing Stories?
Amazing Stories.
Yeah. I believe that's on Prime in Canada.
Huh.
Wait, did you say it's on Apple?
Whoa,
Okay.
you guys, I just experienced a time differential. Like, it was crazy. I accidentally launched our YouTube stream
What?
to get the link. I was trying to get I realized I didn't share the link out on Twitter, and so I was trying to get the link, and it was behind. Like, it was like a whole, like, the audio was like behind, so I heard you ask a question like 2 or 3 times, and then I think I started just like answering the question in a loop. Did that happen in real life?
No.
Oh my God. That's the weirdest experience. Audience,
I don't think so.
The Devil's Reign and Kingdom of the Spiders are the 2 movies I was talking about. The Devil's Reign is like a satanic film with Ernest Borgnine. He turns into a half goat. He has like prosthetic goat makeup on.
Well,
and
I'm talking about the Incubus.
Yeah. Incubus was a 1965 film. In which, but I'm sorry. I'm thinking of there's a William Shatner film where he plays a con artist preacher or something like this, and it's a black and white film. It's really good. I watched it on YouTube years ago, and damn, I can't remember that. It's called The Outrage. I don't know. He was in it. There's a couple of like William Shatner gems out there that are worth looking into, but of course I can't find it now.
Have you seen the picture of Ernest Borgnine as a Borg? He's all assimilated. It's pretty great.
He's Ernest Borgnine.
Yeah.
Borg. That's good.
We have 4 likes or hearts or whatever. It's crazy. Thank you, whoever's doing that.
Hey, can you screen share yours, or can I do mine? Because I got to show you Ernest Borgnine as a Borg.
You can do it. You have the power.
I have the power.
Look on
share screen right at the bottom.
Share screen there.
I hope I don't show all my porn.
Oh my goodness!
I hope you do. I want to see the Canadian.
I have this. I have a power. Look at this. Watch this. I could do this if that happens. Just warning you in case you.
You gonna censor? You gonna censor Canada?
I could do it. I could do it. I'm just letting you know. I do have the ability.
Can you see this?
No.
Can you see my screen?
Do we need to?
You have the power.
Oh, okay.
Change.
Well, it's still like loading or something.
Okay.
Application window.
There you go.
Can you see
figuring it out?
What's going on here?
Hold on.
All right, I just shared it. Tell Kevin Martin he should be watching the stream. There you go. There's your screen. Now I can see. I can approve it. So there it is. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's pretty great, right?
Crazy.
Can you zoom? Can you full screen that?
Oh shit! I just stopped it. Hold on. I want to get Ernest Borgnine as the goat guy.
Just let me know.
That's hilarious.
We haven't talked. I'm sorry, we haven't talked about SpaceX in a good 12 minutes.
Oh yeah,
we're going to. We're going to.
About that.
We are.
No, I'm just like I love getting.
Going to.
Oh, here it is. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Oh shit.
Okay. So, oh yay, he is here.
Oh, I was just about to text him.
Does he want to come on the video, or is he just hanging out in chat? Oh, I don't know why I can't. I'm asking you, Kevin. Let us know.
I like this picture. Look how handsome he is in that picture. He's in front of like a milk carton or something.
No, it's this underground. It's the London Underground.
This is the William Shatner movie with the goat guy, right? And it's really bad. Can you see this?
Oh, it looks like Fuzz Bucket. He looks like the same William,
look how stupid this movie looks. Anyway, it's really bad.
You can't judge a movie by its stills. You got to watch it. You have to watch the
No, I did watch it. I wish I could take I wish I could take those hours back.
The only thing you can judge by its stills is Americana acoustic supergroups. I'm gonna let that one just marinate a little bit.
I was distracted. I was still trying to find the launch to air it here. So Kevin says, "I can't come on. I have my reasons." We know. I don't have to air everything, but I just thought I would. Kevin, did you see the launch today? Were you watching it? Live, or did you see it recorded or anything like that? We'd like to know. And also, have you seen the William Shatner movie Incubus, and what did you think of it?
It's a lot of questions for you to feel in the comment section.
All right, YouTube. I'm heading to YouTube here. It should be trending, right? Here it is.
So they're in space right now, huh? How far are they? They're up there already? How long does it take to get to space?
It took like a few minutes.
But it's a 19-hour journey to the space station.
Yeah. But just to get into space, it was like 4 or 5 minutes or something like that.
Huh. So it's like...
I think, I'm sure. It didn't seem...
hours. So it's like going through Texas.
I watched it in real time, and when the rocket went off, they did that whole zoom in thing until you can't see it, and then they showed the perspective of the rocket, and you see like Earth, the curvature of the Earth, and then they're just in space. It's so cool to see it in real time, and for it to happen safely, because when you're watching it, like it's actually suspenseful because you don't know. One little mistake. I mean, that's why, like, they've got to make sure it's absolutely a go.
Yeah.
The actual like live stream of their journey is still going. Actually, it's still live. On SpaceX's website, and it has 151,000 viewers. So I'm gonna pop that live stream.
All our viewers are.
I'm gonna pop that live stream up on here to show what it's doing right now at this moment.
You're right, though. I mean, thank goodness everything is like going smoothly and safe, and just like that's like all the world needed right now was something to happen bad with that. You know, like, I mean, knock on wood, they're still, but like I'm just glad everything's going smoothly.
Yeah.
Oh, this is crazy. I have to give permission to my computer. Has to give permission to. Whoa. There we go. Okay. Weird. A lot of technical challenges on the Starfleet Boys side here. There's like a really nice music. Do you guys hear it? Like playing?
No.
Let me see what I can do about making this bigger.
What type of music? Can you I know you love singing, so just can you replicate it for us?
No, it's like new age music. Like when you go to get a massage, it's like that kind of music that you hear while they're...
Yeah, give me a rendition. Give me a Starfleet Boy.
Chimes. It's like chimes and space sounds. Like I don't know how to describe. I can't make those sounds.
Of course,
it's like twinkling. It's like twinkling. I recommend you load up the website so you can hear it. You can hear it yourself.
You know what you should do one night when you go to bed? You got to be near some speakers. Lay some speakers on the floor with a decent amount of bass, and play the Enterprise D ambient engine sound, and it feels like you're on the fucking ship, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. If you put it just at the right volume, not too loud, not too low, you just like float off. It's pretty cool.
Have you seen NASA's SoundCloud?
No.
They have they uploaded like all sorts of sounds from space, and it's really cool.
I thought there was no sound in space.
Apparently there is, because they uploaded all this like audio from different parts of like what I don't know. It's really cool. There's like endless catalog,
like noise and frequencies and stuff, like white noise, that kind of thing.
It sounds really, really neat. So what happens to that thing when it falls? What was that, like a ladder?
Yeah, it's like the elevator, I think, that they take to go up there.
So most of that, like, it detaches, right? And it becomes just like a little capsule, and then most of that is just like the fuel.
Yeah, see the two sections. I think you can see the two sections.
Explain to me. I'm really
well. Actually, surprisingly, technology hasn't changed a lot. I mean, now the coolest thing about this is it hasn't changed since like the 60s, I guess. But the coolest thing is that before, like, the parts would separate, and then you would have they would parachute down into the ocean. But now that long section between the two sections, that's kind of, I think, separated by that black band around the rocket.
Mm-hmm.
That long section will separate because that's where all the solid fuel is for the main part of the launch. That'll separate and actually land itself back on the launch pad, and they can reuse it. So it's actually a lot more efficient.
Out of town. Are you serious?
Really cool. Yeah, no, totally. And it does that, so that's pretty cool.
Is that something that's unique to SpaceX?
Yeah, they've mastered this. I think they like figured this out, and they've kind of mastered this, and so I think that's why they won the contract.
That's really cool, because I always wondered, just what happens to the like 3/4 of the shuttle that just like, I guess they just turn into coral reefs. Like there's a bunch of.
I want to make an outrageous prediction.
Okay.
Wow.
I think about the first Star Trek actor to ever be in space. I don't think that's happened yet. Gene Roddenberry's ashes were spread out in space. But
that's right.
I guarantee you right now, Anson Mount will be the first actor from Star Trek to be in space, because they're going to have those commercial flights in like less than 10 years, right? He's got the money. You think he's going to be like invited, like he's going to be huge at that point. There's going to be 5 seasons of Strange New Worlds. He's going to be, multi Emmy Award winning actor for the role. It's going to be the show that reinvigorates Star Trek. And they're going to be like, come on, dude. You got to come. Elon Musk's going to be like, man, I love your show.
Wait, sorry to interrupt.
That's so
that
cool.
Was the separation of
I was watching it.
The stages, and it's cool that you see it from that angle. But
I
love the clarity of the pictures. Like,
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's
look, awesome. That's the capsule. They're actually in outer space.
Wow. And just like that, it took a few minutes. And then there's 19 hours,
yeah.
You know what's crazy
about Mount would be the best.
But at the right image there on the screen, it almost looks like a bad special effect, even though it's like visually. Yeah, I'm not on camera right now. Show the thing. Show the screen. I want to.
Hold on. Here we go. Wait, no.
Yeah, there you go.
Excuse me.
On the right side there, I know I watched that earlier. I'm like, man, that looks like bad green screen. But technically, visually, it's right. You know what I mean? If you were to recreate that effect in a movie, people would be like, that's bad special effects. But you'd be like, no, dude, that's what it looks like on camera.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about The Expanse, actually. Do you guys watch The Expanse?
Talk about that show. It sounds really neat.
I watched a couple episodes and I couldn't take it.
Really?
I'm not gonna take it.
We're not gonna take it anymore. There, I sang.
Copyright strike.
I really wanted to hear you do noises.
Oh, look at this. We made Kevin regret not watching. I regret not watching it live too.
So it was suspenseful. Yeah, it was like you actually had a sense of suspense, like you were watching a movie or something like that, because you really don't know. Like, this is very risky stuff, and it's fascinating because you're just like leaving the Earth and going into orbit, and it's very dangerous, and it doesn't seem that way while you're watching it, but these test pilots, I just want to say their names. Their names are Bob Benkin and Doug Hurley. These guys are like the best in the field. All the interviews leading up to the launch just praised these guys, and praised the fact that there's so much money being invested into space now and future technologies, and we need to get to a point where we have like fully renewable, free energy. It's actually possible, but the electric car, if that was allowed to thrive back in the 1980s,
I don't think where we'd be. Yeah.
There's a documentary called "Who Killed the Electric Car," and it's fascinating about how
I've been meaning to watch that.
How like futuristic energies that we'll be using, when we're old men, everything will be run on a new type of energy. But this stuff has been held back for years. Like, we would have been way advanced if it weren't for certain oil interests.
Yeah, it's the lobbyists for sure.
Yeah, it's all political. It's all political bullcrap.
Yeah, sad. Very sad. I don't know much about. I was trying to leading up to this. I was trying to find information on these two gentlemen, and from what I heard, from what I could gather, like Katie, my wife, was telling me like she heard a little bit about them, and like they knew each other. The reason they picked them as well is not only are they just like kind of elite astromen, but they have a relationship with each other. Like they've been working together for quite some time, and know each other's moves. And I suppose that takes into account. You got to take that into account when you're shooting two people up in space that are going to be in that close of quarters together. For that length of time, and have to depend on each other for the safety.
One of the things about astronauts is like, man, the resolve and just like their mental preparedness. It's unlike any other profession where like you are going out there in the middle of space, in the middle of nothing, and you totally have to depend on your coworkers. Like,
yeah,
your life depends on who you're with. And astronauts tend to come back and have pretty good things to say about their experiences in space. For one thing, it's really fun to float around. I can't even imagine how that feels, just to be weightless. I would love at some point in my life to have that feeling, but I doubt that's going to happen.
I think it's a universal experience and a testament to what kind of a profession an astronaut is in the mindset of humanity, is that there's a pretty universal experience that when you grow up, you want to be like a firefighter, a police officer, and an astronaut. There's other jobs, but like a doctor, but an astronaut's always one of those professions that kids like really aspire to want to be when they grow up. I certainly wanted to be an astronaut. I didn't make the cut. Maybe now I can. I can start a GoFundMe and raise billions of dollars to be the first regular person to go to space.
Billion. Wasn't there a guy that got busted? He like built a rocket and then he got in trouble.
Was he the flat Earth fellow? The flat Earth?
No,
I know who you're talking about.
I think for that guy, but there was another guy that just like years. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm confusing. You're like conflating everything here, but like I remember there was a guy that like he was just building a rocket to just go to space, like a private rocket, and they like space law kind of shut him down.
Where did everybody go?
When I go away, it's because I'm blowing my nose and I don't want the live audience to be offended.
Sorry,
You're all alone.
You're all the attention. Look over here. Look over here. Don't look at them.
The walls are closing in. Oh wait, okay. I'll be back in a second. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Oh yeah. So how we can't hear?
Your mic is on mute.
I was saying you are unbalancing the frame by not having your video, but we're respectful of no video.
Have you guys ever heard of something called a pizza burger?
No.
It
sounds awesome.
It's an Atlantic Canadian delight.
Oh
yeah. It's a hamburger bun, but instead of hamburger, it's salami and mozzarella cheese on the top and bottom with pizza sauce. You put it in the microwave for a minute, and it's fucking delicious.
So that's why you're muting your video. You don't want us to get.
I'm listening to you. No, it's gone now. But
what is it called? A pizza burger.
Pizza burger. It's some places actually have like a pizza toppings in it as a burger. That's not what this is. This is just salami, cheese, pizza sauce, and in a hamburger bun.
I just saw your private chat. Billy, it was the movie. Kevin reminded us it's Billy Bob Thornton. It was the movie that you're thinking about, where the astronaut farmer. What's that?
Maybe
he was in Armageddon, wasn't it?
Armageddon was about regular folks going to outer space.
No, but was Billy Bob Thornton in Armageddon?
No, I know.
What am I thinking?
Was he?
Armageddon was the asteroid, right?
Isn't it Bruce Willis? Isn't that Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, I think.
But I thought Billy Bob Thornton played a part in it. So
hey, Jeremiah's here. Kevin says he was in it. So there you go. All right, good call.
Oh, yeah. He was.
Jeremiah, what did you think of the SpaceX NASA partnership historic launch today? Do you think the space program still inspired? It should be inspires hope. That's the computer generated question. Let me fix that. Do you guys think the space program still inspires hope today? Does it still inspire that hope that you had in it when you were a kid?
Are you asking us, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you were just reading a question for the audience.
Yes, and to the audience as well. We'd like to know what you think.
Again, I hate to take it to a bad place. Like I'm in such a dark place with everything right now. So maybe, I don't know. But now that we're talking about it, it is giving me something like I didn't get to think about it enough. And but now that we're talking about it and I saw the footage, it did make me a little like, wow, this is really cool. I didn't let it sink in the weight of what it actually means. Because I was so distracted with everything else going on and feeling hopeless. And then, but I think yes, to answer your question in a shorter way for me.
When you look at Earth from space, you see no borders. You only see the Earth. This has been brought to you by something. No, but I think it was I forget his name, which I'm ashamed of. But the Canadian astronaut, he talked about like how when you're up there and you look down at Earth for the first time, it's like you really get this kind of understanding that like this whole concept of countries and division and the world as separate entities fighting against each other and in conflict and whatnot, it really doesn't need to be that way. We could all be united in one world government under the Illuminati.
You brought it around. There you go. Yeah, totally. I remember when I was less distracted and when Red Bull sent that guy into space to like jump out. I remember being very like, wow, this is pretty big too. As like a publicity stunt as that was, like it was pretty insane. Do you guys remember that?
I remember it, and it was filmed on a GoPro, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, it was very commercial, but I mean,
Right.
in a sense, this kind of is too.
Anybody ever see Apollo 13? That's a great movie.
Love that movie.
Yeah. I think the one I didn't get to see, I didn't see Space Cowboys, where they were all older.
Tommy Lee Jones, Clint Eastwood, and somebody else. Morgan Freeman? No. Hold on.
Wait, are you talking about Apollo?
No, Space Cowboys.
My favorite new movie about space was the one with who PJ or someone was saying is he hates them, that actor, but the one that what's his face is in First Man. What? I thought First Man was like one of the best.
Oh, I didn't see First Man.
Did you say I hate an actor? What?
Weren't you? Was it you or who
what's
was
the
it?
actor?
What's his name? The Notebook.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Kevin.
That's Kevin hates Ryan.
Oh, my bad. I was sick. Okay, Kevin Martin, who's in the audience, hates him. Hates Ryan Gosling for some reason. It's so weird.
I suggest that
I think he's one of the greatest actors.
If you hate him, I suggest you watch him in Saturday Night Live, which is
I love that.
It's very hit and miss, but he's actually a very good comedic actor. But he was really good in First Man, and he was really good in
Nelson. He was good in. But like I will advocate for Kevin's thing. I do agree. He's so vapid. Ryan Gosling. He's just like.
Where do you watch it? I think he's so like deep. He's so deep. To me, he's so deep. It's so weird. I see a different human. I
don't remember him in a lot of things.
Maybe if I met him, I'd feel
only Saturday Night Live. Like that's
he is a bit forgettable.
Yeah, but he's actually funny. But I didn't.
Yeah,
there's a Beyond the Pines or something or so. He plays a place beyond the pines.
We're all tattooed up and stuff.
Yeah, that was a good like fucked up kind of dark movie. Yeah.
What did Jeremiah said?
I haven't seen whatever we were talking about. What were we talking about?
Space.
It was probably First Man.
Oh no, he didn't see the launch, I guess.
Oh, the launch. Sorry. Thanks, Jeremiah. But prefer the space program to stay public. But nevertheless, I think it's very inspirational what space programs bring out in humanity. What do you guys think? I think I was pretty sad that the space program is not public. But on the other hand, I do like that the space program is focused on like the bigger mission, like going to the moon and Mars. And so for like these like small hops to the space station and to like put satellites in orbit, I don't mind private companies doing that stuff. I would love to see a new space shuttle like design be the next time NASA comes back with like a public funded space effort. So I would like to see it be like the next generation of space travel in a sense.
Fast and the Furious and shit. It just look awesome.
It's got to be amazing. Yeah,
like underglow and a spoiler and like.
Yeah, so if this helps NASA do that by using SpaceX, or we have to mention that there are other companies. The one that comes to mind is called it's Jeff Bezos's company. It's called Blue.
Oh, I didn't know we were talking about First Man. So you said, yeah.
I want to say Blue Harvest, but that's the code name for Star Wars, so I know it's about that. But anyways, I
did that.
I do like that. I also like something that was said earlier, which is, Jeremiah, this means that maybe we have a chance to go up in space for something. It could happen. It could happen now.
It's called Blue Origin.
Blue Origin.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's crazy that it's all these billionaires. Like, I mean, obviously, it's not like going to be like me with a GoFundMe starting my own space program. Well, but maybe. But I don't know.
It's fascinating.
I don't think they have our interest in. I don't know.
That's the thing. there's a lot of focus on space right now, but the technology exists in 2020 right goddamn now, where they can actually start developing ways to help the Earth, like clean up the oceans. And you talk about all the garbage just in the ocean alone. Why can't we develop drones, underwater drones, that just go to work and just clean this shit up? Because humans aren't going to do it.
I could remember his name, but there's an extraordinary young person, and I say that because he's probably like not even 20 yet, who has created a way to clean up the plastic and microplastic to a degree in the ocean, and it's being funded and it's underway. And I think it's ambitious. It's like it's a planet wide endeavor, and like there's estimates that it could be done in 50 years or something like that, or maybe even sooner. So I do think that those things are actually happening, and it's private companies that are doing it, because that's not a public endeavor. It should be, but that ocean cleanup thing is a private company that's doing it. So we do put a lot of emphasis, or I should say the news kind of like forces us. And in this time, certainly there is some really crazy shit going on that is worthy of our attention. But in general, the news doesn't always do a good job, or maybe humans don't do a good job of seeing like the really kind of the positive side of things as well.
You definitely have to seek it out yourself. You have to be active in finding positive things in the world.
It's true. It's true. But there are things going on like that.
Yeah, totally. Jeremiah has a question.
Oh. Would you like to travel to space? 100% yes.
I have dreams about it.
Yeah.
I actually have dreams where I'm out, like, and it's weird because I have dreams about being in a space capsule, and it's like I feel very cold, and I often have these dreams when I'm actually cold inside the room that I'm sleeping in, because heat is very expensive where I live. Anyway, yeah, put a couple extra blankets over you.
Kevin would like to chime in, just to go back to Ryan Gosling. He says that he's vapid just in interviews, but that he was good on SNL and he was a badass on Drive. So just so that you
okay, now he's hanging me out to dry. You son of a bitch.
I think Ryan Gosling is among the greatest actors of his generation. I think he's such a great. I'm going to go out and say that publicly here on this live stream about SpaceX.
Is that your favorite actor?
No, I think currently, and it might be strengthened by Dune, but I think currently Timothée Chalamet is the actor that I really, really enjoy. I would love to see Timothée Chalamet on Star Trek, actually, playing opposite.
Isn't he that guy that jacked off into a peach in that movie or something?
Yeah, he is, but it was an art film, and that's not how it was.
I actually watched. That's a good movie, but he's the first time I saw him was in Homeland, because I was really into that show. I watched it the whole way through, but he was in that.
So don't spoil it for me.
And there's a Netflix film where he plays a king, and I watched half of it because like it's really boring. So, but he was a good actor in that movie. Was it Say My Name, or Call Me by Your
Name? What is the movie where he jacked off into a peach?
That's the movie. It's called Call Me by Your Name.
Say Me by Your Name. What is it? Call Me by Your Name. Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna be remembered for my SpaceX live stream. Somehow it got to Timothée Chalamet and the peach scene, which is kind of awesome because it's a thing. It's a world meme, and it might bring a smile to someone's face today.
Isn't he that guy that jacked off into a peach? Yeah,
he is that guy. He's also, I think, potentially the greatest actor of his generation. Potentially, he hasn't generated enough for me to say that yet, but
there's a movie I meant to watch on Prime when I had it. I don't have it anymore. It's called Beautiful Boy, where he's like a drug addict.
Oh,
and Steve Carell plays his dad, and I really love Steve Carell, so I want to watch that.
Speaking of Steve Carell, there's a show called Space Force that just came out. I'm really excited.
That has nothing to do with what this thing is about.
See how it all came around?
Yeah, it did come around. Jeremiah asked a great follow-up question, which is, I don't know if I would like to travel to space as an early adopter because there's too much that could go wrong. That is true that there is too much that can go wrong, but
it would be so scary. It would be the scariest thing that would ever happen to you.
It wouldn't be the worst way to die.
But it would be the
worst way to die.
I agree. When I picture going to space, there's other people that have gone before. Like, I don't even do an update on my iPhone before everybody says like, "Oh no, that update like is okay." I did it, or like people are, because sometimes they're like, "Don't update your phone. They have to work. It's gonna create a bug." Like, I'm so scared of being a first adopter of anything. Like, I wait to I don't discover anything cool ever. I let everybody do something first, and then I'm like,
Apple. You're Apple.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, I mean, Apple does do that, but it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I'm adventurous once everybody has jumped in the water first. And
so you feel like we're at that point though, where you could go into space and feel safe doing it though? Because earlier you were like, I would definitely go into space.
I would definitely, but I want to.
Oh, I want
people
to go first.
Let the rich people, and then it's got to come into my price range first too, and then so by the time it gets to my price range, it'll be like
what would space travel mean to you? To be fair, like what would it mean to you, and what would be the price to pay for space travel? I'll tell you mine.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a colony on the moon. So what I would be interested in paying a premium for is a jet that could travel into space and then come back, and it would save time, because if you did that kind of trajectory, you would get to places a lot faster. So like a trip from let's say Los Angeles to Paris would maybe only take 2 hours. I'm just making a rough guess here, but you actually have to break orbit, go into space, and then come back down. And so that to me is a form of space travel that makes sense to me. I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to go to the space station. I'm probably, unless NASA agrees for me to do the first podcast from outer space.
There you
go. That's daily or something like that, or unless I get a commission to be the first YouTuber that YouTubes from outer space, that might be a cool thing. But I bet you PewDiePie will beat me to it now that I've said it. Now that I gave him the idea, he's gonna totally take it away. No, but I'm sure that's the dream of. I love PewDiePie. I don't know. I don't know if I love him anymore. I'm hearing a lot of bad things about PewDiePie, but I have to.
You're welcome to.
No. Yeah, you know what PewDiePie is seriously. Just to be nice, he's an asshole. But anyway, go ahead.
That was
I don't know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I don't know where I was going.
I would go out into space if it was a reality, and I had enough money to go on a commercial space flight around the orbit or to the moon or wherever. I would do it when I'm 75, when I know because think about it, by that time it would be just as safe as being on a plane.
Yeah.
Because think about back in the day when planes were first a real thing. And a lot of people would get on a plane and travel from here. People must have been scared out of their fucking minds.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Especially after the first few mishaps occurred. You know what I mean? So it took a long time to the point where air travel actually became safer than traveling on the highway. So I think space travel will get to that point, and I'm going to have to be a very old man before that happens.
Think how good that would feel to be weightless, after having such creaky joints and just have to all the weight off you all of a sudden, and just be oh, thank God, my bursitis.
I think what at one point though that the space program kind of had a reality check, we all do, kind of as we're getting older or growing up or whatever, because did you guys see the movie 2001 Space Odyssey?
Yes. Yep.
I genuinely thought as a kid that by 2001 that could have been like a reality. I had high expectations because of science fiction of what the space program would be like by the time I was like 40, and it totally didn't happen. None of that's like anywhere close to being a reality. But on the other hand, the reality is cooler than what I imagined as a kid, because now with robotics in play and like we have a better understanding of that, we can possibly bring to Earth the possibility could be real of unlimited resources as we start to mine the asteroid belt for its resources, which would, going back to PJ's point earlier, kind of like allow us to focus on healing the Earth and like doing things that, like, right now everything's all about like scarcity and like, you know, like money and who has it and who doesn't, and you know, and all that. But if we become a true post scarcity world where like these corporations that are greedy right now kind of help us to achieve like a point where there is no scarcity, it might be worth, the cost is terrible, but it might be worth it to get to that point a little sooner.
And you know what? If I were to totally reboot Star Trek, I would I would completely eliminate that whole thing where in 2020 whatever 45 to 60 or whatever it was, World War III. I would eliminate all the apocalyptic nuclear apocalypse that happened, and I would just have it so that I would kind of extrapolate what the Trek future would be from this point, and I think we won't have another world war. I think this virus that's going around is a scary enough enemy of the planet that in some ways should scare us straight and realize that the world needs to cooperate, and this kind of thing is going to happen again, and we should.
You're so patriarchal with your scare tactics for humanity. We need nurturing, not scaring.
No. We need every country on the planet to understand that we are all one entity, and that we should all work together from now on in every respect to avoid catastrophe, inspire innovation, and lead toward a future that's, you know, there's no scarcity. You know what I mean? Like
you sound like the perfect CEO for the next space program.
But
I love it.
That's why I think a lot of people love Star Trek, because it's that ideal world where everybody's taken care of, and we can all we're all born into a world where we're given every opportunity to reach our full potential.
What's your favorite space travel movie of all time?
That's a good one.
What's the one with Harlan Williams?
Harlan Williams?
Yeah.
Who's that? Hold on.
He was
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yeah. Rocket Man's a space travel movie?
Totally.
I don't remember. They go into outer space?
Yeah. And
my answer is Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I mean, Rocket Man was a kind of a joke, but Galaxy Quest is amazing.
I guess I never saw Rocket Man. I have a different movie in mind.
Fun watch. I don't know. It used to be on the Disney Channel, so I used to watch it a lot.
You're talking about the World War II era film, right?
No, that's the Rocketeer.
Is this question about like realistic space travel, like Apollo 13 or the right stuff?
I was gonna say I was sad to see that Interstellar won over Star Trek in the Paramount Pictures, like, you know, what movies do you want to see come back to theaters challenge, but it is very realistic in terms of what possible space travel would be like. I think my favorite is gonna have to be Interstellar.
In terms of actual space travel, like human beings, not like sci-fi fantasy, Apollo 13 is like number one on that list. Yeah,
I was definitely at the right age where that movie was really incredible.
For me, non-sci-fi has to be First Man with Ryan Gosling. I have to give it back to Ryan Gosling. If we're going to take out science fiction, that's the one for me.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Oh no, that doesn't count. I was gonna say what's a movie with Jodie Foster, but that she doesn't.
Oh, but that's science fiction.
Contact. That's yeah.
Contact. That's really good. As a person who hates,
sorry, go ahead.
Wait, so now I have to watch Rocket Man.
It's fun. Watch it. It's silly. It's insane.
It's a brain dead stupid comedy that you should smoke a big doobie and just like let yourself go. And what's his name again? The actor? He's a Canadian
Harlan
guy.
Williams.
He's a Canadian guy that had like a brief bout of success, and then he kind of fell off. But yeah,
it's Harlan Williams. Yeah,
a lot of people know him in the industry, but he's not really like doing anything that significant. But like I remember him on Just for Laughs.
I think he's still doing stand-up and stuff. And
yeah, you'll see him every now and again. I don't see him that often though. I'd like to see what he looks like now. I haven't seen him in like 20 years.
Jeremiah says that as a person who hates long travel times, if I go to space, I'm staying in space, hopefully to a lunar colony, but only after space travel is well established.
Wasn't that a thing? Weren't they putting together like a crew of people that were going to go to Mars and like stay there? Like the thing was like I saw something where you could.
That's what Elon Musk's ultimate mission is I think he's made a statement that he would like to live out the rest of his days, his old age on Mars. He would like to die on Mars, basically.
Is that what he meant by not having a house anymore? Didn't you say he's like I have no house? I'm probably paraphrasing majorly.
That's not what Elon Musk's accent is like at all. But yes,
no, I don't know. I've never heard. I forget how he sounds. I've probably heard him talk. But
I think commercial space travel is inevitable. Yep, it's coming. It's coming around the mountain. Against having billionaires control even more than they already do. Agreed.
Yep. Rocket Man.
Alien or Galaxy Quest. That's Kevin's choice on that on all-time space travel. Should be restrictions. I know that this might suck, but we should restrict only healthy people to space travel. There are still unknown health implications to space travel.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be. I mean, even with like going on like carnival rides, you can't go on if you're have anything, like heart or well, I guess they strongly recommend you don't.
I think obviously like right now, it's just infeasible because you're exposed to these like tremendous G-forces. But like if it's a plane that can like gently leave the atmosphere, you're not going to have those G-forces. So more like that's the reason your heart and everything, you have to be in such great shape is because you have to train to be able to not pass out under these extreme, like, when they're on this rocket today, the two astronauts, even though it looks really cool and smooth and everything like that, they're like exposed to like tremendous forces of gravity that a normal human would like die or have a heart attack from possibly. Not a normal human, but you know what I mean, like an unhealthy human, such as myself. I mean, I partake of the delights of liquor sometimes, but yeah, if you could go up gently, like in an airplane, like you could go up drinking a glass of wine to space, like that's the kind of space travel I think we're talking about.
Sure, yeah, I think they'll be able to create little mini atmospheres essentially by like that time within like now we have pressurized cabins and stuff, but I think it'll elevate to where maybe that whole thing where they say like in a lot of science like on space stations and everything, it's like the gravity. Oh, we have the gravity turned.
Oh, the artificial gravity.
Gravity, yeah. Like, I mean, I think that could be a thing. I don't know how you do that. Turbines are probably involved or something.
Any kind of gyroscopic force will do it. Like, have you seen these, like, these ship designs with the big, gigantic spinning?
Like in 2001?
like in 2001.
Yeah.
That spinning motion will create artificial gravity, so it's pretty cool. So that was a great question. Unknown implications. It's true. There's a good movie about a virus, or like not a virus, but like a creature that gets on board of a space craft I saw recently, and it like, I don't know, it was scary. It was cool. There's a lot of space horror movies. What's your favorite? Aliens, I guess, would be, or Alien.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Aliens. I think.
Oh, I got it. I got agreement with my with my
First Man.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the movie? What's the movie where the kids build a spaceship out of like stuff they find in like a dump, and they find like a carnival ride thing?
The Explorers.
Yeah, that movie rules.
I think.
Are you talking about that old movie with Ethan Peck? No, not Ethan Peck. Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, maybe it's Ethan Hawke. Maybe it's a young Ethan.
I think you're thinking of that old movie.
And then they find out the aliens are teenagers this whole time. Like they spend all this time like, and then they find out the aliens have parents and they stole their.
Yeah, I always thought it was River Phoenix, but you might be right. It might be Ethan Hawke, but I always thought it was River Phoenix in that movie.
It's hold on, it's Jason Presson, River Phoenix, Ethan Hawke. Yeah,
it's all
1985. Young Ben spends his free time watching sci-fi films, playing video games, and reading comic books. Surprisingly, his affinity for all things fantastical yields a real result when he has a vivid dream about technology. Blah 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 blah. Anyway,
that's a fun one. Yeah, Kevin knew Explorers. Yeah, I figured you would know as well. Yeah.
The next computer generated question is: have you ever seen a launch in person?
Sure, all the time. Yeah, no. I sure do. No,
I remember being a kid in Florida, South Florida, and when one of the launches happened, we everybody in class went to go see if we could see it. I remember seeing, like, swearing I could see a reflection. They're like, look for like a light reflection in the sky. And then I saw it, and my teacher was like, "No, you didn't." And like I totally thought I saw it, and she was like, "Shut me down."
Was it? You saw it at nighttime or daytime?
Daytime.
Oh, cool.
Where did you live? If you don't, was that Gainesville?
Coral Springs, South Florida.
Coral Springs,
like right outside of Fort Lauderdale.
When was the last time there was a launch on American soil? It was like 20 years ago, right? 20 years?
No, it was probably like 12. I can't imagine. I can't. I don't think it was 20.
Was 2012 then maybe just not American soil? I know there was something in 2012.
I don't know. I don't know.
I could swear it's like not 20 years, not quite 20 years, but it is a long time. I know that you could have seen that. That could have been the space shuttle or a launch, because I remember they always said you could see on a clear day, you could see the shuttle launches all the way from Miami, and so sometimes you would see the little trails or whatever. But I saw, when I was a kid in the 80s, the first nighttime launch that was being done, I think, for a while, or it might have been the first light. It was definitely the first space shuttle nighttime launch, and we saw it. Like, it was insane. Like, you could see the flames going up into the sky and just kind of like going higher and higher. And
that's amazing.
And it was really beautiful. But it was because it was a nighttime launch that it was so. That's amazing how much power is coming out of that rocket that it lights up the sky for, like, at night at least, for like such a long, which is pretty cool.
It's cool, yeah.
But I've never seen one in person. It's always been a dream of mine, and now because of SpaceX, it can be possible. I might get to see it. I mean, I do live in Florida, and so it is in the realm of possibility. In fact, a friend of mine drove up and saw it, and they said it was the coolest thing. So I think it's great. It's going to inspire a whole new generation of kids, I think, to start saying I want to be an astronaut again, if they hadn't been saying it all along, which is exciting as well.
And did you notice?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just saying, as was May 22nd, 2012, there was a launch out of Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So fuck you guys.
How long ago was 2012?
8 years ago?
How long ago was 2012?
When was 2000?
How long ago was that? That sounds like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It feels like 20 years ago. Kevin and Caleb love Gattaca. I do too. I think Gattaca is a great movie. But does it count as a space? I guess that's what he's training for, right? Like, is to go into space. So yeah, it does count.
That's interesting qualifier for that. Yeah. What's happening with the SpaceX right now? Can we check in?
Let me get it back on. Let me get that back online here. I don't think they've docked yet with the space station. Let's go back here.
No, it hasn't been 19 hours, right? It hasn't.
No.
It's so crazy to think though, like that they're just just upside down right now, just still rocketing towards the space station. It's bonkers. Bonkers.
And I think from their perspective, it's not upside down. Right? All right, here I've got the live stream. Oh, they're actually talking, which is cool. Hold on. We're getting a report.
Their suits and look more futuristic now. Like their suits are very well designed.
I saw them a little bit when they were getting out of the Tesla. Hey, look at there they are. How cool.
It's cool. Hi, can you hear us?
Could you imagine if we had had the chance to...
They're thanking everyone
individually?
They're saying good night.
Oh, they're gonna rest. He's very... What are their names again?
Doug and Bob.
Yeah, Doug and Bob.
I'm guessing Doug is the younger gentleman, right? The other guy looks like a Bob. Bye, guys.
This is crazy. This is live. This is what's happening right now. We're actually waving to the astronauts. So the feed just went off the air. That was a pretty cool presentation.
Wow. Good timing.
/ SpaceX. What a great... Now we're back in...
Oh, look at that.
It's been a long road. You can...
How do you feel about them? I know that was jarring for a lot of people to have that intro be so different from like all the epic ballads, like the orchestra. Like,
I think Strange New World is going to be the first one to bring that back.
Oh yeah,
they're going to do. I think it's going to be like a vocal operatic thing, like what they did with the original series theme, like or some but it's going to be a different thing. It's going to be a different whoa 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 whoa. It's not going to be lyrical. It's going to be like it's going to be reminiscent of that original series, but probably not. What was the question?
I was saying, how did you feel about the Enterprises?
That's a Rod Stewart song, and that the guy singing it in the
is that a Rod Stewart song?
Yeah, huh?
Is it?
No, I don't think so.
The Rod Stewart version is actually better.
What?
I mean, how did you feel about them though, like going off track and just having like a weird little ballad of like?
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it, but I skipped it a lot later in life. Like I was like, yeah, I don't need to hear this.
I hated it at the time, and then it grew on me.
Yeah, a lot of people hate it.
Listen to the Rod Stewart version on YouTube, man. You'll be pleasantly surprised. It's funny how they didn't use the Rod Stewart version, which is like the superior version. I don't get that.
They probably just were able to. They were probably able to buy the
song's called "Faith in the Heart."
He has a much better voice than the guy who sings it in the show.
I think there's a Rod Stewart song, but it's not what you're thinking. I think there is a Rod Stewart song called "Faith in the Heart," but it's not this same music.
No, The Enterprise theme is based on a Rod Stewart song called "Faith of the Heart." The original version has all the same lyrics that
I didn't know that.
That the TV version has, but extra lyrics. You know what I mean?
All
Like
right,
there's
now
more
I
to
gotta
it.
listen to it.
I think there's slight variations there here and there, but it's the same song. Anybody? Never mind.
I want to show you guys. This was the STS 131. Here, hold on a second. This is a nighttime launch of the old space shuttle that I think might be. I don't know if it's the one because I'm sure they did more than one, but here we go. I don't know why it's not full screen. That's weird. Oh, here we go. All right.
Oh, cool.
We gotta wait 2 minutes. I'll go forward a little here. Oh, here we go. What's that?
The Discovery.
Yeah, this would be the Discovery. There we go. That was so fun.
Look at that. That's insane.
That feels powerful, right? Like it's insane.
That SpaceX rocket was like way smaller than this.
Well, because it only carries like 2 people.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like what was it? Like 6 people?
But just look at the blast on this thing and the smoke and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like
wow.
it's literally a bomb just flying up into the air.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen a shuttle like on display?
In real life?
At the Smithsonian, I saw one.
They're huge and just like it's crazy. I saw it 3 times. I saw pulling in a JFK in New York. They were temporarily holding the
shuttle there.
A shuttle, and I was like, I remember I was just like casually looking out after we landed, and we were taxiing, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like freaking out. And I was like, that's the space shuttle, and like people were looking out the window, and then like the captain was like, if you look at your right, I was like, and everybody was like freaking out, and we in the hangar, and then I got to see it on the Intrepid, the aircraft carrier. We did a tour and we saw it, and then they moved it over to LA, and then when I moved in LA, we paid to see it in LA as well.
You're 100% following the space shuttle around.
Yeah.
That's like what you do. You're like a space shuttle groupie.
Here's
yeah, it must be really cool to watch it at night.
I remember it to this day. I was a young kid. It wasn't this launch.
This is the family in the ship.
Oh, hold on. Let me give you prominence here. 1 second. Oh, look at that. That's a cool photo. Look at that. Yeah. Neato.
That was, and then that was when we saw it in New York in 2013. And then we wanted to recreate the photo when we saw it in LA last year, but we forgot.
Oh, wow. When I come out to visit, we should go. Is it still in LA?
I think so, yeah.
I want to go see it. That sounds cool.
It's amazing you get to stand under it too, and you're like, oh my god, like it's weathered, and like you can see where the heat, created like a wear and tear on it, and it's incredible.
I know a lot of people would probably hate this idea, but I want to show about how United Earth Starfleet was founded. We got the early days of it with the Enterprise, but I want to see the very beginning. It's called The Expanse. Watch The Expanse. The Expanse does a great job of filling in the that period of history in Star Trek. I'm convinced The Expanse could be a Star Trek show.
I need to watch the show. You've been talking about it for a while.
I like the theme. It's nice. That's referring to the Enterprise theme. I'm listening to the Rod Stewart version and can confirm it's way better.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. Do you think I'm Sexy was the original theme for TNG? If you like my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, won't you make it so? I almost flubbed that one.
Make it so. That's nice job, dude. That's really good.
How are you all doing? It's Chris Collins, or Myth Dustards. Welcome. We're talking about the space launch. Chris, did you see it? Are you still in Florida? I don't remember if you're in Florida or not.
And what part of Florida?
I think Chris may
Florida
up there in the Florida in the Gainesville area.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Florida.
We're moving to Del Boca Vista.
All right. So that was, what year was that you just showed us for the Discovery?
That one was 2010, I think.
Oh wow.
So here's the Dream Chaser. Have you guys heard of this thing? This is one of those planes that might be able to go into the atmosphere without a. Oh, I don't know if I can show this video. It's another YouTuber's IP, but I'm pretty confident that the SpaceX footage is shareable. It's public, and so is the footage that we showed tonight of the space shuttle. But there's a lot of cool concept designs for spaceships that could make space travel a little easier, and I'm excited about that.
I have to plug in my computer and then I'm gonna refill. But I do have a question. Should I switch to red wine or should I stick to beer?
Beer.
I'm gonna go get.
Red wine will give you a headache and you'll regret it.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair. Yeah. And then what did you say, Sohail?
I'm gonna go when you come back. I will go get more white wine, but I say stay. What do you think? Stay the course of beer.
Okay.
Do you exercise
every day?
Oh, then yeah, you can drink beer. It's okay. I can't.
All right, I'll be right back.
PJ, what's your favorite real life space memory? Like I had that one about the nighttime launch, but what was your memory?
I don't have one because I've never seen anything related to space in real life.
Well, like on TV in real life. Like you remember like
Oh, no.
events.
I was too young to know anything about the Challenger when that happened.
My sister's birthday was ruined for a long time because it happened on her birthday. When we were in like 85 or whatever it was. I actually remember school came to a halt. They gathered us all together and like we had to talk about our feelings about it and stuff like that. It was pretty kind of like, I don't know, it was like a sad time, but it was also like you felt like kind of like right now how like there's historic things that'll get written in history books are happening right now around us, which is crazy.
Yeah. I've noticed that my face is really fat on camera. Like I got a little double chin here.
That's not true.
I'm so overweight.
You're not. You look great. At least on camera, you look great. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's such a weird thing to think about. You need a wider angle. You need a wider angle lens. PJ, you gotta stop. Oh my gosh, this is descending. Let's get some of these questions
when I actually back in 2010 is the last time I worked out. I need to get in shape, and that's the best thing you can do for yourself is to be healthy.
It's true. going back to what I think it was Caleb saying earlier, is like you should be endeavoring to be in the best fitness that you can.
United Earth Probe Agency instead of United Federation of Planets. Is that an anal joke?
I don't think that is Chris Collins. Come on. Chris lives in Jacksonville, Florida. Let's see here. Wasn't United Federation of Planets originally called the United Earth Probe Agency in the beginning of the original series? Really?
Okay,
I don't know that. You're gonna have to look it up. Well, while we look that up, we'll go to the next thing, which is Kevin is having prune juice right now. So thank you. Join in the fun with some prune juice. I remember seeing Columbia get destroyed in the. I saw that too. That was sad on a Saturday. I tried waking up my dad, and he did not believe me and kept going back to sleep. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, how could you?
Yeah, it's a real thing. In 2067, the United Earth Space Probe Agency, the Friendship 1 probe to the Delta Quadrant, is part of the series of unmanned exploration probes. By 2130s, the UESPA had integrated with Starfleet as leading United Earth Space Exploration Service. Together, they and Starfleet accomplished many missions. I just like the word probe. It's funny.
What did I miss? Probe.
Whenever you hear the word probe as it relates to science fiction or space, don't you automatically think something being shoved up somebody's ass?
Sure.
Like, isn't it automatically like the thing? So this, what's his name? Chris Collins brought up this thing in Star Trek that was mentioned in the original series called the United Earth Space Probe Agency, and I thought it was a joke at first.
Yeah, we thought it was a joke. I'm gonna go get my wine. So you guys.
Why did Kevin say prune juice? Oh, it was he answering what I should switch to.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it was. Jeez, for real. I thought that's what he was drinking. I'll be back, guys. You run the show.
Okie dokie.
Enjoy.
Okay, I'll be back in a second. Just 1 second.
You can't leave. It's the rule of two.
Yeah.
You can go first. I'll keep Evan company.
I was joking.
He was just putting me on the spot, making me. I was gonna do a whole nail decorating tutorial if I was on my own.
You could have worked on your stand-up.
Yeah. What's the deal with space travel? So
can I do some Rodney Dangerfield comedy? No, just go ahead.
Yeah, I love Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah,
he's awesome. Yeah.
Do whatever you guys think and share the link to this stream on Twitter because it's still going on and still going strong.
Oh, cool. Okay.
What did you guys let's start a new train. I don't want you to have to live in the past. Everybody's already heard that. Does Canada have this is such a stupid question, but does Canada have a space program?
I think so.
I feel stupid for asking. I feel like it's like something I should know. Or
a lot of countries do, but it's just nobody cares. Nobody pays any attention to it, and it's only because of I think Elon Musk's celebrity that anybody pays attention to SpaceX. It's like It was a big deal on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check this out. So,
yeah. What do you think of Elon Musk?
Yeah, he's weird, but every guy like that has to be. I mean, there is no normal when you're that kind of person.
When you hoard wealth, you become eccentric. Do you think he was eccentric? I feel like when I looked at pictures of him and I followed him like when he first started being like Elon Musk, and you like heard about Elon Musk and the zeitgeist and stuff, and like I felt like he just seemed like this like whatever, like oh that guy looks interesting, and now like when I see pictures of him, he looks like like an Evanescence kind of character or something. Like I don't know, he looks like a prog rock guy or like with his soul patch and his.
I've seen him on there's a Jay Leno show where he was driving that electric big metallic truck.
Jay Leno's garage or whatever.
Yeah. And I also
that truck. That's right. That thing that came in with.
I watched him on Joe Rogan a couple of times, And he's just a regular dude. Like, there's nothing.
I want to watch that Joe Rogan thing. That's the one where he smoked weed, right? And everybody like freaked out.
That's the older one, but there's a newer one, I think. Yeah, Joe Rogan he's one of the best interviewers.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Elon Musk reminds me of a Superman villain. Yeah. Yes.
Why can't I see these comments? Oh wait, no, never mind. Okay.
Were you on private chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I highlight that? Like, only Sohail has the power to like.
No, I can see it. Yeah.
But I mean, like, to put it up on the screen. So, like, but yeah, totally.
Yeah, Elon Musk
could change. He's a villain for sure.
He could change on a dime and like want to take over the world. You could imagine that if a Superman actually emerged within our world, Elon Musk would be the guy to fuck with him.
Yeah. Or, I mean, really, if any billionaire, it would be just by aesthetics alone, it should be Jeff Bezos. It would be
him or Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Yeah. That Lex Luthor looking motherfucker.
Did you see the latest season of South Park, which makes fun of Jeff Bezos as a Telosian from Star Trek?
Oh,
he has the big head and the forehead, the veins pulsing and all this.
That's hilarious.
And there's a man who in the season there's an employee from Amazon that got trapped in the box. Like he got stuck in the processing.
Yeah. And
if he's opened, he'll die, like he'll explode and die. So Jeff Bezos is like threatening him. Like, this man is a box now, right? That's what stupid. And so he brings in a load of kids and he's like, "What's in the package, kids?" And like the kids, can't resist, and they open the guy up and he explodes, his guts everywhere. And but it builds Jeff Bezos to be like, a super villain,
yeah.
But he's like a trillionaire now, isn't he? He's like,
I know he was on course to be the first trillionaire.
Yeah.
South Park's a show I wish I kept up with still more. I mean, it's
hit and miss.
Yeah, I mean,
each season now was the whole thing.
I popped off when it was like perfect, and I think I just didn't need to go back. I'm like, I got my fill of I don't want to go back and be disappointed if it is hit and miss. I don't know. I just stopped. I don't know. I think sci-fi there just wasn't enough room. There's just too much content, and I think South Park had to unfortunately take a seat. I'm constantly shifted, I have to make room for I get on these, I don't know. And then of course there's always got to be at the epicenter of that is fitting in time for Star Trek, watching DS9, and then what are your do you have a arsenal of shows that you go to?
Yeah. F is for Family. Insecure. I used to watch Homeland. Now that's over.
They used to film Homeland was with Claire Danes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the show. We used to work at a bar in Brooklyn, and they film in that neighborhood. And I got an ID from someone, and I checked the ID. We hold it behind the bar, and I was looking at it to open her tab, and I was like, Claire Danes is huh, that's the same name as that actress. And then I looked up, and it was her, and they were filming, and they were just hanging out at the bar. I was like, oh shit, Claire Danes, this is amazing.
Yeah.
What else? Sorry, I kind of derailed that,
well, I'm a big fan of Sopranos and Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. It's probably my favorite current show right now is Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul? Yeah.
I did watch The Walking Dead, and I just got sick of that.
Sorry that took so long, guys.
I bailed on season 2 of Walking Dead. That's all right.
Yeah, it's just zombies and people fighting.
I was reading the comics pretty heavily. I got to trade 20 of, and then I started realizing there was other comics out there that were, it's like you're saying, it was just zombies, and I love zombies, but it was an overkill. By then it's just all right.
I don't know why, but Elon Musk does not scare me. He actually engenders a lot of trust, although both he and Jeff Bezos I think need to be kinder to their workers.
Sure. Yeah, Elon Musk is just like gonna up and like screws all his workers up if like he was threatening to like move out of California. Like that's not
Sorry.
okay.
Whoa, that was Elon Musk using his powers to force choke me.
He has a little button on every little.
He's like Starfleet boy said, "I need to be nicer to my workers."
Jeff Bezos hears all things.
They
He kind of does. Yeah,
they kind of do. Everything goes through Amazon Web Services, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. Our little Alexas are listening.
We can hear you make love.
I hope they can. That's like the least thing I'm worried about. Is like I don't care if anybody's looking in and like
I would play it up. I would play it up to the microphone. So yeah, you like my 12-inch penis, baby? It's really not that big though.
Oh my goodness!
But you're not supposed to say that part.
I guess we are after dark. This is a late night.
But Jeff Bezos is listening and he's liking it.
Yeah.
He's a freak, man. He just sits he sits around in a room all day and just randomly just tunes in to different.
Is that your headcanon, or like, do you think he really does?
No, did you see the latest episode or season of South Park where it's all like Jeff Bezos being like a perverted creep, listening to everybody and like abusing his power and all this?
No, I have not seen that.
That's pretty good. He's a Talosian from Star Trek, remember?
Yes, I do remember.
Look up Jeff Bezos Talosian and you'll see the image.
I think anybody that hoards wealth and they get to that level, like they become sinister in what they want. Like the bar is constantly moving to like satiate their like needs, and I think it gets more and more sinister and weird. Not even sinister, but like.
Do you think everyone? You said everyone.
Yes,
I don't think everyone.
Everyone. That is. When you hit that multi-millionaire, like you're doing behind closed doors.
So you think absolute power? It's that whole. What is it? Absolute power.
What's it? Look at how many like that Jeffrey Epstein book. Like look at all the names and that shit. Like,
did you see that Jeffrey Epstein documentary on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's sickening, but it's crazy.
I found a zinger. I found something that will satisfy not just the Jeff Bezos discussion, but also the Elon Musk discussion. Maybe PJ has seen this before, but I will.
Discussion.
The Muskcussion.
Muskcussion. How do you say that? Ah, yes.
No.
That's good though. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know what to think. We just let it sit there for a little while.
Yeah, just let it hang out. What was the story behind getting? Is it okay if I read questions? I know you're the host.
Yeah, please. No, I like it.
But South Park did a cartoon version of that Jeff Bezos thing.
What was the story behind getting the actor who portrayed Professor Moriarty to do a video for Starfleet Boy? Do you guys know what he's talking about?
No, I mean I know Professor Moriarty.
Cameo.
Yeah, but so you've seen it, right?
Me? I haven't. It sounds like you have.
Here, I'll show. Do you mind if I show? Yeah, do you mind if I show it, guys?
Yes,
give me a little high five.
Here we go.
Subscribers to Starfleet Boy. Professor James Moriarty here from Star Trek Next Generation. Starfleet Boy has asked me to reach out to you on his behalf to thank you for being so wonderful and so supportive and so patient with him and his presentation. I hear through the grapevine that he is trying very hard to figure out a way of getting Professor Moriarty out of that little annoying computer program on that little annoying cube on little annoying Captain Picard's desk. Especially now that Captain Picard seems to be enjoying his own show, with some visitors from the past. I don't see why Professor Moriarty can't be one of them. Perhaps I can come and cause him a little difficulty, and we can have a nice little debate about what it means to be human. Do you know, every once in a while in our computer programs that we share, I run into the good doctor on Voyager, who thanks me for the fact that his character could never have been created without Professor Moriarty and the technology. They figured out how to put some stupid armband on him so that he could leave the holodeck. Why can't they do that for me? Do you want me to get really, really angry about it and take over the whole Star Trek universe from inside the holodeck? Don't think I can't. At any rate, I know it's a creepy time you Earthlings are living through. So stay at home as much as you can, look after yourselves as much as you can, and don't end up in some little cube somewhere. Be well, and have a good day.
How about that?
That's incredible. What, like that was all him. Like, did you like that was
not that was completely improvised, I think, or written and directed.
Well, but it was his words.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't say like.
Right. Daniel Davis, by the way, is the name of the performer. So that was completely Daniel Davis. Did just that. Like, all I said was like, could you say thank you to my subscribers and audience, and he went wild with it, and I love it.
That's amazing. That's the coolest thing ever.
I must agree. Kevin Martin also says this video is my favorite thing ever, and so now you know this. The video, the story behind it is just I celebrated today the completion of having a discussion of every Star Trek: The Next Generation episode, and it took 4 years to do. Yeah, I know. So I ordered that from Cameo to thank the audience. Yay. And all of you guys, actually, for you guys, you three, the two of yous, and Kevin and Jeremiah and Chris Collins and everyone who gives us a little time on here. So thank you.
Very cool. Take billionaires'
so that's
money.
So Jeremiah says take billionaires' money. What do you guys like? I think billionaires. Someone said that a billionaire shouldn't exist. Was that Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders, yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
A billionaire shouldn't exist.
That's really good. That's really
1%,
good.
1% of the population is billionaires.
Where do you guys cap it though? At like what should exist? Like what can
900.
1,000.
$9,099 and not 1% more, because billionaires shouldn't exist.
I would like to hear from a billionaire. If we have a billionaire listening in, or even if you see this afterwards, like, what do you think of that statement? So take billionaires' money. I think that a lot of billionaires are happy to give their money away. I know that Bill Gates and Warren Buffett plan to give everything away at some point. So there are some there are some billionaires that give me hope for billionaires out there. Let's see. You finished the reviews 3 years before TNG did season 7. Oh, because it didn't take us 7 years to do the reviews. Yes, you're absolutely right. It didn't. Oh, so here's Darren. Welcome to the broadcast. I believe Star Trek has set a template, but realistically, we are behind at least 20 years in general development. There is also a lack of prototypical development for producing hypothetical development. Cool show. Thank you. I 100% agree with the statement. I do think that like there are probably a lot of factors that went into play that stifled the development of technologies. I think a lot of futurists in the 60s are baffled or surprised at how little we've accomplished in terms of space travel. But something that's really promising is that like on that theoretical development side, the warp drive seems like more of a probability than it ever has before with the I can't ever say it correctly, but the Alcubierre drive, which is something that's exciting a lot of people in the space industry.
Warp speed scares me. I don't know. Or like
It doesn't.
traveling.
That's like 100% exciting to me.
It's exciting. It just gets scary.
I don't have a family, so I feel like I would take Richard Dreyfuss's choice in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I'd leave. I'd go on a spaceship. I mean, I do have a family, but not like a I don't have kids that I have to that depend on me.
Your sister was behind you, about to like bring you a drink. She's like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's like,
fuck you, son."
I would leave my family though to go into outer space and warp off into the distant cosmos with aliens. Kevin says that he just started TOS today. I've seen a lot of it, but I'm watching in order starting today. That's cool, Kevin, because we're going to do TOS discussions next on Starfleet Boy, so you can probably come on one of those.
I might join you in that, Kevo. Just watching the Trials and Tribulations episode of
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine really made me like
nostalgic.
Yeah, I've watched a couple. Like I've watched a bit of TOS, but I want to dive really into it. And if Kevin's doing it, then
this is an interesting question. What are gas prices like where each of you live? Where I live, it's $1.85 a gallon. It's about the same here.
Mine's in the high twos.
Around $1.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
Around $1, like under $1?
I don't know.
Or over $1.
I don't drive. I don't buy gas.
Damn it.
I can't remember gas being under $1. The last time it was under $1, like I was like 11 or something. That I can remember. I don't know. 185. I would kill for 185. It's usually like before everything started going down, it was like almost $4 a gallon.
How much do you think it costs to send a rocket into space?
That's what I'm thinking. With that, like, that's why billionaires need. How do you cost effectively? Do you think there'll be a clean, clean resources, like energy efficient way to space travel that isn't fossil fuel?
I think so. I think that like we'll have like nuclear fusion drives and things like that. Maybe not in our lifetime. I think PJ is falling asleep. I saw his eyes drifting, so
and then he disappeared.
And then he disappeared. We might have to bring this to a close. We'll end on this computer. Oh, there's 5 comments, so let's go to the comments first, and then we'll end. Let's see. Where Darren lives, it's $2.67 for premium.
Premium, dude. She takes premium.
Oh my gosh. Starfleet Boy needs a bumper sticker that says, "I will ditch my family to go out see alien life, like in Close Encounters." Oh my goodness.
Richard Dreyfuss.
New Jersey is about the same as where Darren is.
About 180, yeah. I guess so.
Or the one, that's cool. Oh, 189ish, she clarifies. And then finally, while I was up in South Carolina, it was 149 to 170 up there. Bet you'd like to be in Carolina. That's a nice song.
Nothing could be finer.
What's the final question is, would you go to Mars? If you were invited to go to Mars, would you do it? If Elon
permanently?
Musk
Is there
yeah, it's a one-way. You got to live on the colony. Yeah, you got to live on the colony. You have to build a new city. You could take your whole family with you if they want to go. You assume they want to do the same thing you do.
All I think about when I think about living on Mars is Total Recall, so it's like a hard no.
Yeah.
PJ, would you go to Mars?
Nope. I would go in space, like close to Earth, but I wouldn't venture.
Not a one way.
No.
So you would go to Mars, check it out, and come home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't be possible in our lifetimes, though.
Even if it took,
it could be, but it's a 3-year trip, I think, round trip at our current status. just to go around.
Even if it took like a month to get there,
it might be 3 months. I might be mistaking it for 3 months
or 3 months. But like I would still do it if it was like a couple months out of my life, even a year out of my life, travel time there and back. But I wouldn't want to go and then find out like something awesome happened on Earth.
Jeremiah is hardcore about his position on billionaires. I would go to Mars, but not if Elon Musk is involved.
I like it. Yeah.
Jeremiah is he's our harbinger. He's warning us. I don't know. I have a strong desire to go off world. Maybe it's a good thing I don't have billions of dollars, because I'd be spending it on a spaceship to leave the Earth behind. No, I would love to go to Mars, but only if I could continue to do my work and my hobbies, one of which is podcasting and these live broadcasts. If I could do a live broadcast from Mars, the only thing about that is that there's such a delay that I couldn't do these. It's kind of upsetting because I couldn't do these type of things anymore. It'd have to be like 19-hour streams where I say, "Hi, how's it going?" and then 4 hours later you come back with your message.
Well, let's say in a perfect world, they've figured that with all the satellite grids that they're
that we discover subspace and it's like instantaneous. It's true.
Isn't the idea to have like a grid of satellites like covering the Earth essentially?
You're definitely falling asleep. We're all losing our theme here.
I'm trying to like reach in my brain. I'm like, what am I talking about? I realized I was like out of my depth. But they just sent didn't they send like a bunch of satellites to?
I think that like we need to find faster than light, instantaneous travel for sound frequency waves. I don't know what I'm saying, but 380,000 gallons for today's mission of liquid hydrogen at $95 million.
Holy shit. Wait, the just in fossil fuel alone was $95 million?
Yeah, just to take that.
Cut it out. That's crazy.
It's expensive. So we'll end there. Guys, any closing thoughts on the SpaceX thing?
No, but you should have more females on this show.
I should.
Like, where are the women to, huh?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was pretty cool.
Women are invited. In fact, Katie
Klingon
Katie is promising to come on at some point, so she'll be on the show.
Not if I can have anything to do with it. The women on here.
There's too much testosterone there. It's offending me.
I can promise you that there's very little testosterone coming from me.
Me either.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm leaking.
All right, we found a way to end. Great stream as always. Setting nothing.
This guy works out.
It's quarantine. Shout out to Achieve Peak and CC Matthews if you want to work out. Those YouTube channels are great for working out.
And Taryn agrees with us. All right, bye guys. Thanks for joining me on my SpaceX stream. That was really fun.